This is Sravanthi, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today we are going to discuss about alternative and non-conventional source of energy and also discuss solar, wind, hydropower energies and their advantages and disadvantages. So these are the topics we are going to discuss in this session. So generally there are two major sources of energies are there. One is conventional sources and the other one is non-conventional sources. There are two types of energy sources generally available in nature. One is conventional sources and the other one is non-conventional sources. So what is the meaning of conventional sources? So these conventional sources of energy are the ones that are commonly used and generally non-renewable resources. Non-renewable sources of energy is called conventional sources of energy. So which are being used since long time. So simply we say conventional sources means non-renewable energy sources. Non-renewable energy sources such as for example oil, natural gas, coal, biomass and electricity. So these all are the best example of conventional sources of energy. Simply we say example fossil fuels. These are also called non-renewable resources. Once we are using these resources are not produced by nature. This type of resources are called conventional sources. It is also called as non-renewable energy sources. Best example is oil, natural gas, biomass and electricity. And second resources are non-conventional sources. Non-conventional sources. So these are also called as renewable sources of energy. Renewable sources of energy. That means these are reproduced. Once we are using these resources, again it can be reproduced by nature. So such type of resources or energies are called non-conventional energy resources. Best example solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, bioenergy, etc. So all are the best example of non-conventional sources. So there are two types of energy sources present in nature. One is conventional energy sources and the other one is non-conventional energy resources. So conventional sources, it is also called as non-renewable sources. These energy resources are not produced by nature. Once we can utilize it, these are not reproduced. Such type of energy resources are called conventional sources or non-renewable sources. Best example is fossil fuels like coal, petrol, crude oil, natural gas and electricity. These all are the example of conventional sources. And second one is non-conventional sources. These are also called as renewable sources of energies. So these are once we are using these source energy resources, these are again reproduced by nature. So best example is solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, hydropower energy. So these are the best example of renewable energy resources or non-conventional sources. So now just now we discussed already sources of energy. So there are two types of sources of energy, conventional sources and non-conventional sources. So in these conventional sources again classified into two types, commercial and non-commercial. So commercial, in this case best example is coal, petroleum and electricity. So these conventional sources are again classified into two types, commercial, non-commercial. So commercial energy sources best example is coal, petroleum and electricity. These are commercial energy resources. And non-commercial best example firewood, straw, dried dung. These are available from nature. So these are non-commercial conventional energy sources. And here non-conventional sources. So non-conventional sources is also called as renewable energy resources. In this best example is bioenergy, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy and energy from urban wastage. So these are also called as renewable energy resources. These are unlimitedly produced from nature. So this type of resources are called non-conventional energy resources. So here alternative, today's topic is alternative non-conventional energy sources. So nowadays, the alternative non-conventional sources of energies are becoming increasingly important as the world seeks sustainable and environmentally friendly, eco-friendly solutions to meet its growing energy demands. So worldwide, most preferable energy sources are alternative non-conventional sources because these are sustainable and eco-friendly solutions. So that's why we have more preferred growing energy demands. We are using this alternative non-conventional energy sources. These are also called as renewable energy sources. So some notable alternative and non-conventional sources of energies are, for example, solar power. So in the solar power, we'll discuss photovoltaic cell and solar thermal systems. So photovoltaic cell. So here convert sunlight to solar energy absorbed from sun. So the solar energy convert into electricity. The solar energy convert into electricity. So second one is solar thermal systems. So use the sunlight to heat a fluid. By using the sunlight to heat a fluid that produces steam which drives a turbine to generate electricity. So by using solar energy from the sun, then produces to electricity. This is a renewable energy resources and alternative non-conventional source. Alternative non-conventional source. And second one is wind power. So in this case, mainly we discuss wind turbines. So here, convert the kinetic energy of the wind. Convert the kinetic energy of the wind into electricity. This is generally we can observe in this windmills, wind farms. So in this case, kinetic energy of wind, it converts to the electricity. It is also a renewable energy resource. And third one is hydropower. So generally water is released through the dam. Generally dams construct across the river. In this water storage, water reservoirs. This water, it spins turbines and connected to the generators to produce electricity. Generally water is released through the dam. So it spins a turbine, so connected to a generator that produces electricity. So this is also a renewable energy sources. And next one is geothermal energy. So in this we'll discuss geothermal power plants. So here in this image clearly explain that tap into the earth's internal heat by extracting steam or hot water to generate electricity. So geothermal power plants in this tap into the earth's internal heat by extracting steam or hot water to generate electricity. And next one is biomass. So in this we discussed about this bioenergy. So it involves conversion of organic materials, so such as wood, crop residues and animal wastage. So here involves the conversion of organic materials into heat, electricity and biofuels. So in this biomass energy, it is also a renewable energy sources, a non-conventional alternative energy source. It involves the conversion of organic materials such as wood, crop residues or any other animal wastage. So that organic materials converts into heat energy or electricity or produce, it is used as a biofuels. And next one is ocean energy. So in this mainly discussed about tidal energy and wave energy. So tidal energy, so in this capture the energy from the rise and fall of tides. So in this case, this is converted into electricity. And wave energy. So in this case, wave energy is it is a form of renewable energy that can be harnessed from the motion of the waves. It can be this wave energy, it can be harvested or it can be obtained from the motion of the waves. So all these are the alternative non-conventional energy resources such as solar energy, hydropower energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, biomass energy and ocean energy. All these are the renewable energy resources, most important worldwide demanded energy resources, because these are do not cause such environmental pollution, do not harmful for environment, eco-friendly fuels, energy resources, and these are reproduced by nature. So today's session will discuss about solar energy, wind energy and hydropower energies and their advantages and disadvantages. So first we discussed about solar energy. So already we know the sun is the ultimate source of energy. Sun is the ultimate source of energy, directly or indirectly for all forms of energy. Sun is the ultimate source of energy, directly or indirectly for all forms of energy. Already we know that. So energy is derived from sun's radiation. Energy is derived from sun's radiation is called solar energy. The energy derived or the energy is obtained from sun. So that is called solar energy. So traditionally the solar energy is used for drying clothes, food grains, preservation of eatables, obtaining salt from seawater. So solar energy, so already we know that sun is the ultimate source of energy, directly or indirectly all forms of energy. So this energy is derived from sun's radiation. So this energy is called solar energy. Traditionally we are using the solar energy for drying clothes, drying food grains, preservation of eatables, and obtaining salt from seawater. So that purpose generally traditionally we are using this sunlight or solar energy. So here see this image, the solar panels which is used for generation of electricity, by using the solar energy to produce electricity. So some important solar harvesting devices are solar cells, or it is also called as photovoltaic cells or PV cells, and solar water heaters, solar heat collectors and solar cookers, solar water pumps. So all these solar devices, what is the principle involved in this? These are harvesting solar and sunlight and converted to produce electricity. So that electricity is used for domestic usage purpose in our homes we are using, and water heating purpose and cooking purpose also we are using. So all these, for example, the solar cells. So these solar cells which is made up of silicons. So the solar cells absorb directly sunlight from the sun, solar energy from the sun, then produce electricity. That electricity we are using for in our domestic usage and industrial usage also we are using. And here we are using for cooking purpose also we are using directly this solar energy to produce electricity for use it for cooking purpose, and also use it for water heating. In this solar water heaters also, it absorbs directly solar heat, sunlight from the sun, and it produces electricity. So these are some of the examples of solar harvesting devices. So all these devices, main principle is absorb sunlight from the sun, then convert into or then produce into electricity. So that is used for water heating or cooking and domestic usage, power supply purpose. Our homes we are using these devices. So now let's discuss what are the advantages of the solar energy. So first one is renewable and abundant. So solar energy is a virtually unlimited and renewable resource. So already we know that solar energy is the unlimited and renewable resource. So once we can use, again it can be reproduced from the sun or nature. So as the sun continuously emits energy. So the solar energy is the renewable and abundant. So solar energy is virtually unlimited and renewable resource. So as the sun continuously emits energy. And next second one is low operating cost. Low operating cost. So once solar panels are installed, the operating and maintenance costs are relatively low. Once solar panels are installed, so after that the operating and maintenance cost is relatively low. And third one is environmentally friendly. So the solar power generation produces little to no air water pollution compared to fossil fuels. So just now we discussed already, these solar devices or solar power generation are eco-friendly, do not produce any harmful to environment or do not causes air or water pollution compared to fossil fuels. And reduced dependency on fossil fuels. If you are using the solar power, it helps to reduce dependence on non-renewable energy sources, contributing a more sustainable energy mix. Because already we know that these non-renewable energy resources, that means limitedly supplied from the nature. Once we can use, it is not produced by the nature, limitedly supplied from the nature. If we are using this renewable energy resources such as solar power generators, if we are using the solar power, it helps to reduce the dependence on non-renewable energy resources. So that means it's contributing to more sustainable energy mix. So what are the advantages of solar energy resources? So these are renewable and abundant. These are renewable energy resource and low operating cost and eco-friendly, do not cause such any air pollution, water pollution compared to fossil fuels or non-renewable energy resources, and reduce dependency on fossil fuels, because these fossil fuels are non-renewable energy resources. These are limitedly supplied from the nature. So if we are using these renewable energy resources, we cannot depend on this non-renewable energy resources. So these are the advantages of solar energy resources. But what is the disadvantage of solar energy? What are the disadvantages of the solar energy devices or solar energy resources? Is the intermittent energy production. Intermittent energy production. That means solar power generation is dependent on sunlight. So already we know that solar power generation depends on sunlight. So which can be intermittent due to the weather conditions. And at night time also we cannot use the solar devices. What is the main disadvantage of solar devices? Solar power generation is dependent on sunlight. So which can be intermittent due to weather conditions, and night time also we cannot use these solar devices. And high initial cost. High initial cost. So the upfront cost of installing solar panels can be high. Starting the solar panel setup cost is very high. So after that it is low only, but starting its upfront cost of installing the solar panels can be high, although it has been decreasing over the years. And land use. So large scale power installation may require significant land space. Significant land space. So potentially impacting the ecosystems. Potentially impacting the ecosystem. So what is the meaning of ecosystem? It's involve living and non-living things. Both are interacting. Systems are called ecosystems. Living and non-living things. Interacting systems are called ecosystems. These are also affecting by installing these solar panels. So now let's discuss wind energy. This is also a renewable, alternative, non-conventional energy sources. So the high-speed winds have lot of energy in them as kinetic energy. So due to their motion, kinetic energy, movement of the wind. So the high-speed winds have a lot of energy in them as kinetic energy due to their motion. So this is generally observed in windmill. It is clearly explained by this windmill. So wind energy is harnessed. Wind energy is obtained by making use of windmills. This wind energy is obtained or harnessed by making use of windmills. So the blades of, in this image clearly shows that the blades of windmill keep on rotating continuously due to force of striking wind. So the wind energy is harnessed or obtained by making use of windmills. So the blades of windmills. So the blades of the windmill keep on rotating continuously due to the force of striking wind. High force wind when is striking in this blade, they are continuously rotating. So the blades are linked to gearbox. These blades are linked to or attached with this gearbox and AC generator. These blades are connected to this gearbox. So here these blades are linked to gearbox and AC generator. So which can drive number of machines like water pump heater, floor mills or electric generators, etc. This working similarly like that. Water pump heaters, floor mills and electric generators, etc. So generally this wind energy is harnessed by making use of windmills. So the blades of the windmills keeping on rotating continuously due to the force of striking winds. Then these blades are attached or linked to gearbox and AC generator. So in this case, which can be drive number of machines like water pump heater and floor mills and electric generators. And actually a large number of windmills are installed in cluster. This is a windmill. So in this windmill, it consists of wind blades attached to or linked with this gearbox and AC generator. So striking wind is forcefully touches this blades. It is continuously rotates. Then this wind energy, kinetic energy of wind is converted into produce electricity. So a large number of windmills are installed in cluster or called wind farm wind farms. A large number of windmills are installed in cluster or called wind farms. So the minimum wind speed required for satisfactory working of a wind generator is 15 km per hour. 15 km per hour. So generally this wind energy, high speed of wind have lot of energy in them as kinetic energy due to their motion. So this kinetic energy converted to produced to electricity. So windmill. So in this mainly we discussed about windmill. So the wind energy is harnessed by making use of windmills. So the blades of windmill keep on rotating continuously due to the striking wind. Forcefully striking of wind. So in this case, the blades are linked to this gearbox and AC generator. So which can be drive number of machines like floor mills, water pump heaters or electrical generators. In this way they are working. So the large number of windmills are installed in cluster. Is called wind farms. So the minimum wind speed required for satisfactory working of wind generator is 15 km per hour. So now discuss what are the advantages of wind energy. This is a wind cluster, wind farm. The large number of windmills are arranged in cluster, that is called wind farm. So here, what are the main advantages of wind energy? It is clean and renewable. So this wind energy is clean and renewable source of power. So it reducing depending on fossil fuels. Wind energy is a clean and renewable energy source of power. It produces electricity. So in this case, we can less dependence on this fossil fuels and low operating cost. Once wind turbines are installed, once wind turbines are installed, the operational and maintenance cost are maintenance costs are relatively low. And next one is reduced greenhouse gas emissions. So already we know that wind energy and the solar energy, they are produce less emission of greenhouse gases or not produce any harmful chemicals or not harmful for environment, eco-friendly nature. So this wind power generation produces minimum greenhouse gas emissions and contributing to climate change reduction. Or simply we say eco-friendly, not harmful for environment, do not produce that much environmental pollution compared to fossil fuels. And job creation. So the wind energy industry creates jobs in manufacturing, installation and maintenance. It creates jobs also. So what are the main advantages of wind energy? These are the clean and renewable energy sources, low operating cost and reduce greenhouse emissions and job creation also. So the wind energy industry, it creates jobs in manufacturing, installation of windmills and maintenance. So that purpose also it creates new jobs. So these are the main advantages of wind energy. Now I'll discuss disadvantages of wind energy. So intermittency and variability. Intermittency and variability. So winds is variable and not always predictable. Winds, these are variable and not always, we cannot predict these winds, leading to intermittency in energy production. We cannot, so obviously we know that we don't know what time this wind produce. That means wind is variable and not always, we cannot predict these winds. So which time these winds came or high winds, which time it came, so we cannot predict this one. So it leading to intermittency in energy production. And visual and noise impact. So wind turbines can be considered visually unappealing. It is difficult. And the noise they produce can be a concern for nearby residents. It produces little effect of a noise pollution also. It produces little bit noise. So wind turbines can be considered visually unappealing, unattractive. That means, and the noisy they produce can be concern for nearby residents. So next one is land use. So wind farms may require significant land use. Wind farms construction purpose, it requires significant land use and potentially affecting local ecosystems and wildlife. So these are the main disadvantages of wind energy. First one is intermittency and variability. So we cannot predict winds for a particular time, which time it comes. We cannot predict that. So it leading to intermittency in energy production and visual and noise impact and also land usage. So in this case affecting local ecosystems and wildlife animals. And now we'll discuss hydropower. So this hydropower energy is also a renewable energy resources and alternative non-conventional energy resource. So generally we construct dams across the rivers for storage of water and we can protect it from floods also. So the flowing in a river is collected by constructing a big dam. So where the water is stored and allowed to fall from a height. So generally we construct dams across the rivers. For what purpose we construct dams? Prevents from floods and water storage purpose also. So here the flowing in a river is collected by constructing a big dam. So where the water is stored and allowed to fall from height. So here the blades of turbines, here see this image. The blades of turbines located at the bottom of the dam. This is the water reservoir of dam storing water. So this flowing water when touch this turbine blades. So the blades of the turbines are located at the bottom of the dam. So bottom of the dam. So it move with fast moving water which rotate the generator and produces the electricity. When the generally these dams are constructed across the river storing water. So here the river collected by constructing a big dam where the water is stored and allowed to fall from the height. So the blades of the turbines located at the bottom of the dam. So move with fast moving water which rotate the generation and produces electricity. So the minimum height of the waterfall should be 10 meters. The minimum height of the waterfall should be 10 meters. The hydropower potentials of India is estimated to be about 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power 11 kilonewtons per hour. So hydropower does not cause pollution and it is a renewable resource. So hydropower energy, already we know that it is a renewable alternative non-conventional energy resource. Generally this hydropower generation we collected from the water reservoirs. That means we construct dams across the river, storage water. The storage water, so generally the blades of the turbines located at the bottom of these dams with fast moving water which in turn rotate the generation and produces electricity. So this fast moving water circulate in this through this turbine blades, then it is converts this generator this water energy into electricity. So generally the minimum height of the waterfall should be 10 meters and the hydropower potential is estimated to be about 4 into 10 to the power 11 kilonewtons per hour. And it is a renewable resource and do not cause such environmental pollution. And what are the advantages of hydropower? It is renewable and reliable. That means already we know that hydropower is a reliable and a good and renewable energy resource. So with a constituent and controllable energy output. Already we know that hydropower energy is a renewable energy resource. It can be reproduced by nature. When we collect this water through these turbine blades, then converted to generator to produce electricity. And low operating cost. Once the dam is constructed, the operating and maintenance cost is relatively low. And water management. So hydropower projects often provide water management benefits such as flood control and irrigation also. Irrigation purpose also we are using this water. And next, long life cycle. So hydropower facilities can have long lifespan properly maintained. And large dams often become tourist attraction. Generally, people come ecotourism purpose also we are using this large dams often becomes tourist attraction. The people coming from far places they spend their time and money they can enjoy, and ecotourism purpose also we are using this dams. And the water from the lake of the dam, it can be used for irrigation purpose in the farming. The storage water also used for irrigation purpose also. And since the water is released to produce electricity, so the build up water in the dam stored to produce extra energy until needed. And hydroelectric energy generation does not pollute the atmosphere because the hydroelectric power plant does not produce greenhouse gases. So what are the advantages of hydropower energy? So it is a good renewable energy resource. It can be reproduced by nature and low operating cost. Once we construct these dams, the operating and maintenance cost is very low. And water management. So in this case, hydropower projects often provide water management benefits such as flood control, and also this water used for irrigation purpose. And long life scale we are using this facilities, hydropower facilities, and ecotourism purpose also we are using. And this water storage water used for irrigation purpose. and do not cause environmental pollution because it do not produce any greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, etc. compared to fossil fuels. What are the disadvantages of this hydropower energy? It is not an easy to assemble a hydropower plants. We cannot, it is not an easy to construction of dams. It's extremely expensive to build, and they require extremely high standards and calculation for this construction. Construction of dams is not easy project. It is very expensive and it requires extremely high standards in calculation for their construction. And it becomes important that the hydropower plant must be served for many decades because of its high cost of construction, and this totally depends on the availability of water resource. It is very expensive. And if flooding happens due to natural calamities, that means climate factors or the failures of dams, so it would be impact a large area of land, which means that the natural environment can be destroyed. If in case natural climate factors or failures of dams, in this case it is most effects on this wildlife or nature, bad effects on environment. So people are forcibly removed from the particular area where a hydropower plant is going to be assembled. So this affects the day-to-day life of the people living in that area. If we construct dam means in that area people migrated to another area, so it affects on that ecosystem and day-to-day life of the people living on that area also. They are affecting. And a serious geological damage can be caused due to the construction of large dams. So these are the main disadvantages of construction of dams and hydropower energy, hydropower stations also. So in this session we'll learn about what is a renewable resource, that means conventional and non-conventional resources, and what is the advantages, disadvantages of solar energy, wind energy and hydropower energy. We learn in this session. I hope understood all. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.